So dito, the coefficient of x is negative 2. Ang gagawin po natin, we divide it by 2 and then squared the result, negative 2 divided by 2, and then squared, the answer is 1. Okay? So yun po siya. This is what we will do to both sides of the equation. So gagawin po natin dito, we're going to make this equation a perfect trinomial equation. Okay? Kaya kung ano i-add po natin dito, kasi sinabi niya, based on our formula, by completing the squares. Okay? So dito, kukomplete po natin siya. Tapos kung ano yung i-add po natin siya dito, yun din po yung i-add natin sa kanan. The coefficient of x negative 2, we divide it by 2. So paano kukunin yung last term ng ating trinomial? Divided by 2, kung ano yung nandito siya, no? Okay? Dahil yun sa formula, galing po siya dito, no? Yung 2ab, no? Ito siya. Tapos, squared mo siya. Okay? So, square the results, negative 2 divided by 2 is 1. Raised to 1 is, raised to 2 is 1 pa rin. So, we're going to have that one, x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 5 all over 4 plus 1. Step 4, factor out PST formed from step 3 and simplify the other side. X squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 5 all over 4 plus 1. If you're going to factor this one, parang dito siya kanina, no? A plus B squared. So ito yung factor po niya, no? Okay? So we have now x minus 1 squared is equal to 9 all over 4. Our LCD here is 4. 4 divided by 1 is 4 plus 1. Multiplied by 1 is 4 plus 5. We have 9 all over 4. So x minus 1 squared is equal to 9 all over 4. Next, extract the root of the PST. Okay? X minus 1 squared is equal to 9 all over 4. Note that if n squared is a, then n will be plus or minus the square root of a. Okay? So, para ma-simplify po natin ito, we're going to extract square root to the both side of the equation. Pag i-square root po natin ito, x minus 1 raised to 2, quantity raised 1 all over 2. Then 9 all over 4 raised to 1 all over 2. So, x minus 1 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 9 all over 4. Okay, dahil nag-square root po tayo. So, x minus 1 is equal to plus or minus 3 all over 2. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 4 is 2. Next, isolate x. Determine the solutions by applying the plus or minus. So, x is equal to x minus 1 is equal to plus or minus 3 all over 2. So, there are two answers. Transpose negative 1 to the other side. So, x is equal to 1 plus or minus, nililipat natin, no? 3 all over 2. So, if we're going to have the plus 1, 1 plus 3 all over 2. So, 2 plus 1 is 2 divided by 1 is 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3 we have 5 all over 2. For the other side, yung minus naman, 1 minus 3 all over 2. So, 2 divided by 1 is 2 times 1 is 2. Minus 1, 2 minus 3, the answer is negative 1 half. So, therefore, the solutions of the equation for x squared is equal to 8x plus 5 are 5 all over 2 and negative 1 all over 2. So, that is our answer. Okay? So, this is now the root or solution of the equation. Next, solving quadratic equation by the quadratic formula. So, ito yung pinaka-simple na formula. Okay? The last method that we're going to discuss is the use of quadratic formula. Okay? So, this method is useful. Okay? So, the last method that we're going to discuss is the use of quadratic formula. This method is useful especially if the expression we are dealing with is not factorable. Okay? Pag hindi siya factorable, hindi siya perfect trinomial, hindi siya pwedeng gamitin ng square both side or by completing the squares, then ito yung pinaka-madali. Dahil kaya anong equations meron tayo, as long as it's a quadratic equation, we can use the quadratic formula. Okay? We are dealing with, it's not factorable, but it can be used to solve any quadratic equation. That can be written in the form ax squared plus bx plus constant is equal to 0. So the quadratic formula, given an equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus constant is equal to 0. So this is your quadratic formula, this is your quadratic equation. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay? So how are we going to do that? Let us write the quadratic formula to solve the equation 4x squared is equal to 5 minus 3x. This can be done in the three simple steps. Step 1, write the equation in the form ex squared plus bx plus constant is equal to 0. This is important so that we can plug in the correct values for a, b, and c. 4x squared is equal to 5 minus 3x. Transpose 5 and negative 3x to the other side. Okay, so i-ayos natin siya dito, no? So, gagawin po natin, i-arrange po natin siya in terms of the, para masundan po natin yung, ano natin dito, yung, ano natin, yung quadratic equation natin. Ax squared plus bx plus constant. Kaya ito, lilipat natin siya sa left side. 4x squared is equal to 5 minus 3x. Transpose 5 and negative 3x to the other side. So pag transpose natin, magpapalit tayo ng sign. So we have 4x squared plus 3x minus 5 is equal to 0. So with that, this is our A, which is equal to 4. B is equal to 3. C is equal to negative 5. Then if we're going to substitute that in the formula, x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. The values of a, b, and c are a is equal to 4, b is equal to 3, c is equal to negative 5. So negative b, we have negative 3. Plus or minus b squared is 3 squared minus 4, that is constant, multiplied by your a, which is 4, multiplied by c, which is negative 5. All over 2 times a, 2 times 4 po siya. So step 3, simplify the expression to determine the solutions of the equation. So x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 89 all over 8 po siya. Okay? In cases where the solutions or roots are radical, we have to ensure that the radicals are in their simplest form and imaginary numbers are written in the terms of I. Pag hindi po siya ma-simplify or in terms of radical. So gagawin po natin dito, to simplify this one, we're going to make use of your calculator. So square root of 89, that is 8 point something, no? Kasi yung square root of 81 is 9. So square root of 89 is 9 point something. So there are two values again, negative 3 plus or minus 9 point something. Okay? So you're going to have first the negative 3 plus 9 point something divided by 8. That is your first solution. The other one, negative 3 minus yung value nito, 9 point something, is equal to, divided by 8 is equal to, that is your second solution. So after solving for the x, for the two values, then you're going to substitute your answers in our equation. Kung saan po yung tumama dun sa dalawa, that is now the, what we call the root or the solutions of the equation. Pag hindi siya tumama, it is not the solution of the equation. So that's the way how we're going to solve quadratic equations. There are three formula. First, by factoring. Second, by completing the squares. Third, the most important and the most usable is by using quadratic formula. Okay? So that ends our discussion for today.